Hey guys, John here. I hope you're all doing well. Today we're finally checking out the TC Electronic Ampworx high gain pedals. We're going to check out the Jim's 800 pedal, which is basically like a Marshall JCM 800. We're also going to check out the Dual Wreck, which is basically a dual rectifier based on a Rev G to be precise. Very cool. And of course, we're also going to check out the V550, which obviously is based on a Peavey 5150 block letter, I assume. Let's dive in right away with the demo using all three pedals, starting with the Jim's 800, going into the Dual Wreck, and then in the V550, first without the boost and then with the boost on. Take a listen. Okay, wonderful. That sounded pretty good, right? So that was my Schecter PT Black Ops with the Fishman Fluence Modern open core pickup in it on the passive voicing. And we started off with the Jim's 800 pedal, the JCM 800, without the boost and then with the boost on. Sounded nice and classic. Then we went to the Dual Wreck pedal, of course, the Dual Rectifier. Sounded nice, scooped and fizzy, quite rectifier-ish with the boost on. It sounded quite tight. And then we ended with the V550. Also a thick sound, quite different than the other two, and with a boost much more tight and aggressive. So yeah, these pedals are a lot of fun. They're basically amp-in-a-box style pedals. And I should also mention that these pedals are quite affordable. Right now they clock in at about 150 or 160 euros. So they are quite attractive indeed, price-wise. And you can do a lot with them too. So each pedal has two channels that you can select with the channel switch. So it's basically a clean channel and a high gain channel for these particular pedals. And of course, there is also the built-in boost, which you can use in two ways. So you can set the function of the boost on the back here with the pre or post setting. If you set it to pre, it's basically like a tube screamer in front of the amp, adding a bit of gain and tightening it up, which obviously is a popular thing to do for modern metal and stuff like that. But if you set it to post, then it will just simply be like a volume boost for solos and stuff. So a more transparent boost after the amplifier. Now for this entire video and also for the demo that you just heard, I'm using the DI out which has a cab sim that is provided by Celestion. So in that way, you get a great direct recording option. It features the sound of the entire amp, basically, including the mic'd up cabinet. So that's quite convenient for in the studio, but also for on stage when going direct into the PA and stuff like that. Of course, you can also run these pedals into a power amp or into your amplifier. In that case, you would just use the normal output here. And of course, your guitar goes into the input. So simple pedals, and they all have some different controls going on. So let's go over all the pedals here. So the Jims 800, obviously based on a Marshall JCM 800. I do think that it has a little bit more gain than a real 800, which is nice, to be honest, because real 800s don't have a lot of gain. And if you want to rock out to the max, sometimes a little bit more gain is required. Now, of course, you can switch between the green and red channels, which is nice because on a real 800, you can't even do that with a switch. You have to put the plug into the different inputs, so that's a nice feature. And with the boost control, you can, of course, turn the boost on or off. This pedal also has a 3-band EQ, so bass, middle, and treble. A boost control, which basically controls the amount of boost, the gain control, and the level control. Okay, now let's grab my ESP Ltd Bill Kelliher 600 model with the Mojo Tone pickups and just plug into the Jims 800 and tweak the controls a little bit just to see how all the controls react and all that stuff. Take a listen. That sounded quite nice. It's a fun little pedal for sure. Does it sound exactly like a JCM 800? Perhaps not. It's not the most realistic modeling, in my opinion, and trust me, I've tried a lot of modeling products. However, it's a lot of fun. Even though it doesn't sound super realistic per se, it's still a lot of fun. And for the price, it's pretty hard to beat, to be honest. So yeah, fun little pedal. Let's move on to the Dual Wreck. Now, dual rectifier amps will always have a special place in my heart. And one thing that I should add is that I like the fact that they used like the controls or the knobs that they have on the actual amplifiers as well. So it's cool how the pedals echo that, if you know what I mean. So again, this is based on a Rev G dual rectifier amplifier by MESA Boogie. And rectifiers tend to be pretty hard to model, but I think that they did a good job with this pedal. Again, with the channel switch, you can go between the red channel, which is the high gain channel, and the clean channel. But those clean channels, you can also get them to crunch a little bit, which is nice. Again, a 3-band EQ, bass, mid, treble. And then we have the gain and level controls up top, but also in the middle, the tight control. And that's a control that is unique to this pedal because in a lot of cases, people think that the dual rectifier amplifiers are too loose and flubby. And you can use this control to make the amplifier more tight in the low-end response, basically. So that's a nice, cool extra feature that they added. Of course, you also have the boost function to add a tube screamer-like boost in front of the amplifier. Let's grab the ESP LTD guitar again and jam through this pedal as well. Great, so this pedal is also a lot of fun. Again, does it sound and feel and respond exactly like a real rectifier? Perhaps not, but again, it is a lot of fun for sure. And again, for the price, it's pretty hard to beat. All right, let's move on to the V550, the Peavey 150 pedal. So yeah, similar pedals to the others. We have a channel switch for a red high gain and a green low gain channel, as well as the boost switch, of course. 3-band EQ, bass, mid, treble. A gain control, a resonance control, which is nice. And of course, also the level control. And what I totally forgot to mention, but what I should mention, is that on the back of the pedals, there is also a little presence control. So that's cool. That's nice for fine-tuning the top end. For me, it's a little control. You know, it's not really easy to operate, especially not on stage. So I just set it and forget it, basically. And because it's so small and on the back, that's basically why I forgot to tell you guys. But now you know. So yeah, a 5150. Let's take a listen and check it out with my ESP once again. All right, so it's a fun pedal for sure. It sounds pretty good. Again, not the most realistic modeling when I'm super critical, but a lot of fun for sure. The response and the feel just isn't exactly the same as the real amplifiers, but that doesn't mean that you can't get some great tones out of these. With the 550, I must say that the boost added quite a bit of gain, a little bit more than I wanted to in comparison to with the boost off. So if that could be balanced out with a firmware update or something, that would be better for me personally. And it also added a bit of noise, which is unwanted. So maybe these pedals can benefit from a noise gate. So what are my overall thoughts on the TC Electronic Ampworx high gain pedals? Well, I think they are a lot of fun, as I mentioned. There are some great tones to be had. They are quite flexible. You can switch the channels. You can turn the boost on or off. You can use them direct with a cab sim. You can go into a power amp or into an amplifier. So they're quite flexible and a lot of fun. And I like the unique controls that they all have, like the tight control on the Dual Wreck, the resonance control on the 5150, and the boost control for the Jim's 800. So for the price, I do recommend checking them out. Just don't expect the most realistic modeling technology ever, but expect some fun little pedals that you can get some great tones out of and just have some fun with, okay? So again, for the price, they are really hard to beat and they are just a lot of fun. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. And if you want to get one of these Ampworx pedals for yourself, check out my affiliate links below. In that way, you can support the channel at no additional cost. That would be great. Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on the pedals. And of course, you can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And thank you so much to the folks at TC Electronic for sponsoring this video. I really appreciate it. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you soon. Cheers.